Then we have race day, which normally is a Saturday at 4 p.m. when it's really hot. And we normally race only in very hot locations. We had experiences with over 40 degrees in Santiago. I think it was the hottest day in 100 years they had there. The, 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 the tires were like almost melting up. The tarmac was definitely melting up. But the point is, we have everything in one day. You have free practice one, free practice two, and qualify and race. Everything very compact. So it's very, very important to collect the right data and to analyze in the very precise way. We already preset a lot of screens and channels that can already extrapolate the data automatically and have a better way of visualizing it by graph or by an average or a statistical value. And with Formula E, it's more complex because then you have to compare different levels of power. In qualifying, we have 250 kilowatt of constant power from the battery. In race mode, we only have 200. And then it's a totally different driving style because in the race, you need to save the energy, you need to maintain a certain constant energy target during the whole race. And in qualifying, the only thing that matters is the ultimate lap time, regardless of the energy spent. So it's an increase in complexity that only Formula E has.
And the pressure is high.
And the pressure is high, yes.
One lap to nail.
Can you explain a little bit, Markus, what do you look in the data? So when I do a fast lap, how do you know that lap is good? How do you know if you did a car change? For example, you change the springs on the car or the damper. How do you evaluate looking at the data?
Most important is to give you a quick feedback how we are structured in the team itself. So we have data engineers, we have performance engineers, we have system software engineers. In normal race scenario, which is a little bit different to Berlin, is normally 20, and this is reduced slightly now due to Berlin event. But every engineer has his topic to look into. We have already such tools where we immediately see how the influence of the change we did affects Lucas, and Lucas is just giving his feedback on top.
Every feedback that I get from my engineer when I'm inside the car is very, very important. All the data I get back, all the information, how well I'm doing, how well do I have more energy than the other drivers, what kind of temperature I should expect for my battery, how can I manage this. These are all very key elements that if you get one wrong, even if you're doing the perfect race, the race of your life, you're not going to finish the race or you're going to be compromised with performance. And the other thing we do also is compare between the drivers. So because in our team we have two drivers, it's always important, even if the other driver is not as fast, and especially if he's faster than you, it's to look at the data and check where you can improve. Are you braking early in one particular corner? Are you braking way too late and you're losing time? Can you do some different line that it's more either energy efficient or time efficient? So tell them a little bit about the story in Mexico, that we had a very successful final lap, and how did we manage to do it?
Mexico was a real super race for us.
So I started that race in second place. I lost the place at the start, so I went back to third. So it was Pascal Verlaine leading the race, Oliver Rowland second, and I was third. And Mexico was a difficult track to overtake, very difficult, that old Mexico style. And during the whole race, we were trying to save a little bit of energy. But when we're trying to save a little bit of energy, is every lap you try to drive as fast as possible to be very close, putting pressure on the other guys, and then saving the energy. And the amount of energy we saved was a little bit every lap.
That's true.
And then?
Was and close to the end, Lucas got the information from my side that he has like 1% more than the other. 1% more is quite a lot.
1% was actually the defining amount that made the difference between winning the race and not winning the race. So we managed to save this extra percent over there, and I knew it because on the TV you could see Pascal going from let's say 8 to 7%, and I was going from let's say 9 to 8. So I had that extra energy that I needed to attack in the right moment. If I wasted that energy, it would have been all the work for the whole race gone. So I needed to be very precise on the attack that I did. And
a lot of pressure to Pascal, and he even made a mistake and shortcut it. Otherwise, without this shortcut,
he might not even finish the race.
Exactly. but he put so much pressure on him that it was like 6 corners to the end, to the finish line, and Lucas was freaking out on the radio. He's cutting the chicane, and that cannot be happening. Say concentrate, concentrate, and then just out of the last corner, he was again to freak out. It cannot be. Say push, push, push. He's running out of energy, and then suddenly he's.
And then suddenly he ran out of energy, went to zero. I passed him 10 meters to the line, and was the most amazing victory of my career. So um, it's very important. It's very relevant. Nowadays, we have much more data engineers than we have any other engineers, because the data, the quality of the data, and how you use it to make yourself the best strategy possible, it's super important. And that's why it's also very important how we save, store, use, and manage this data. Okay, thanks, Marcus. And yeah, that's all very simple what you have to do to race in Formula E.